Hi, George Booth, 124 Dogwood. Been a long time resident since 60. And I've seen San Antonio, or Austin, sorry, Catskill Hills grow a lot. And, I don't have a opposition against people having security for their lawn equipment or anything else, but there's already a building there in the backyard. And this one's awfully close to the fence, and it's probably 10, 12 feet tall. I mean, it's really pretty tall. And so I just don't think it's good and cohesive with the neighborhood.
Thank you very much, Mr. Booth. Is there anyone else that wants to speak on this item during the public hearing? Anyone? Thank you. It is 5:35 and the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion on the item? Ladies and gentlemen, is there a motion on the item?
I'll make the motion.
There is, you want to make a motion on the item?
To move forward to here and discuss.
Okay, in other words, so you're going to make the motion to approve the item?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second? Is there a second? The motion,
I'll go ahead and carry the second on that one for now.
okay. Mr. Squire has seconded that motion and it is open for discussion. Justin? Questions? Would y'all like, I'm sorry, would y'all come back up to the mic again? I'm sorry to keep you coming up and down, but they're going to have some questions for you.
So I'm looking at pictures here.
Sure.
So this structure has already been put up and made.
It's not completed.
It's not
We
complete.
stopped.
Stop. So did you get a permit for this?
No.
And is there a reason why you didn't get a permit?
We didn't know that we had to pull a permit.
Yeah.
We thought if you had an HOA, which Castle Hills doesn't have an HOA.
Okay. And then why did you pick this height for the building, the structure? Is there,
Just for the roof not to be so close to the rest of the house.
okay. And then do you have any other unattached buildings out in your backyard?
In the backyard, we do, but
Oh.
it's for a pool. It's for pool equipment and to house the chemicals for the pool.
Okay, so you just have that
Right,
one, and this would be your second?
right.
Okay. And you mentioned security. Do you have, this is your carport here?
Yes, it's
Is
an
that
open carport.
It's gated?
It does have a gate, but it's not locked because we come in and out through there.
Okay. And is that how you think people got through to your bicycles and lawn
Right.
equipment? Okay. And then so other than that, that's the only point of entry to your backyard?
Through the front, there's a gate there that's
Okay.
also left unlocked because you have to get through that gate to go to the front door. And it comes around to the courtyard on the side of the house that goes directly to the back.
Okay. And then your pool equipment, how big is that structure?
I don't know. I have, I would say like,
Like a 5x8.
Can you make it bigger, or do you have room on that side of your property?
It was already there when we
We-
moved in. We just moved.
it was
here.
existing.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's no room for expansion on that?
No, so we're gonna get a pool made. The pool is gonna come here in July, and it's gonna be kind of like in that area.
Okay.
So that's
close
where
to
the previous owner housed the pool equipment.
Okay.
Above ground pool.
All right. That's all the questions I had.
Thank you, Mr. Squire. Yeah, I saw that. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Oh, yeah. I think I'm on. Okay. Trying to get a handle on this too. So what was this expected overall height of the structure to be?
I was gonna just do it to 10 feet, and then the roof
To the peak?
to the peaks, probably gonna be like 12, maybe 13 feet.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know I had to get a permit, none of that. So I mean, we used to live in Stone Oak, and we did one, and we didn't have no problem.
Uh-huh.
We never had problem with that, so I was like, okay.
Well,
Because just because we don't have no room in the attic, we
Right.
got no room to store things. And
It's
we-
crawl space.
We're a big, woman, big, like it's me and my wife, but we have 3 kids and
Uh-huh.
we got a lot. of
Yeah, a
stuff.
lot of low slung roofs in this community. So I
Yeah.
understand that one. We have barely any room in ours too. The distance, and I'm just going to say this right now, the distance between these two ASUs, ASUs? No, AVSUs. Thank you, sir. It gravely concerns me. And you're tight on both sides. And I'm not sure if you're going to be above the existing roof line of the other structures or not when you finish, or not. That would be obviously a concern as well. Was there any consultation with the fire chief or anything in regards to our fire codes? Because we do have a 10-foot, if I read this right anyways, yeah, we do have a 10-foot separation between buildings. And I think a lot of that has to do with, so fires don't jump from one to another as one reason. I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons. But was there any discussion with the fire chief or anything
No.
at this point? Have
I
you had
didn't know
anything
how to do all that. I mean, if I knew I had to do that,
Mhm.
I mean, I just go by the code.
Okay,
And like the way it is now, I mean, I could still make it to wherever we need to do it if it's allowed.
okay,
You know, I'll go by the rules, but if
Okay.
it's not,
okay.
it is
Okay,
what
I
it is.
understand that then, and that's good to hear. I'm glad you all stopped this building the structure too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure once you found out some of the Castle Hills ordinances, and so that's good to hear. You put it all, yeah, so you put it all the way against the fence, and I appreciate the pictures anyways too on this. So it's gonna be just it looks like a T111 siding with just a regular asphalt shingle peaked roof is what you're gonna end up or eventually gonna have in there is what I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna make it look real good.
Okay,
That's
Okay.
just the beginning. I mean,
okay.
make
I
it
don't
look
see
nice.
a brick ledge or anything on there.
I was
That's one
thinking
that's
about doing that just to go with the house,
Mhm.
make it look, but I'm not sure yet.
We just stopped.
We just stopped.
We didn't want to spend any more money.
Right. That makes good sense anyway. So, okay, those are my questions for now.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Olivares?
Yes, I too share the concern with the fire hazard. Was there any consultation with your neighbors or other concerns that they share? About the fire hazard?
They just,
No.
well, like neighbor, we don't really know too many neighbors, but I know the front neighbor and the side, the next door neighbor. And they were just like, what happened? Why you didn't finish it? And then I told them what happened and they're like, oh, okay. But no, they were not concerned. Nobody said anything about the fire. But I mean, like I said, I can make it work. Whatever needs to happen, will happen. Like, with the fire chief, if he wants to go out there, just go by the rules, just trying to do it.
And then also cosmetically, also like with the property itself. So I was also wondering if I'm concerned about that because I drove by it, so I too saw it on friends, and you can't really miss it on Lock Hill. So I just wondered. Concerned by our neighbors about uniformity of it. It doesn't really match at all, so.
Well, it wasn't, it's not completed. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna make it look like.
we wanted to be uniform,
Yeah, we're
but
gonna
it's not,
do big,
it's not completed.
But I didn't have no, they were like, I don't know, I mean, one of my neighbors said, well, it's not bothering nobody, it's facing like on someone, it's cars passing by there. But I mean, that's what my front neighbor said.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lopez?
So do you have any more room in the backyard to build a structure that's not, you won't be able to see from the street?
No,
You
No,
don't?
we got trees back there, and I don't wanna.
we didn't want to cut the
big
trees down.
That are been there for a long time. I love trees, I like trees.
Okay. And have you had anything, anybody broken into your carport or your vehicles or anything?
Yes,
You have, that has happened to you?
yes.
And
All right.
I actually,
That's why we put a camera system in.
we installed this week, we installed 7 cameras around the house. The alley, right there where they took the bike, a lot more equipment in the front. just, you know, and I mean, I did call her and made a report, but it's not a, you know, it's not a big deal, like, okay, it's not about it, you know. It is what it is, it's right there on Lots of Summer. I see a lot of people every once in a while pass by.
We just didn't want any more temptation coming in, drawing into, further into the community. So, I mean, you can see into our backyard, that's the center block, that's open. You can see through, you can see what's in the side yard, in the courtyard. It's not like it's totally enclosed.
Anything else? It's my turn. You may. Okay.
Was there any discussion or any thoughts of expanding the existing covered carport and adding another, I'm not sure the footage between the house and the carport, but was there any look at doing that, or was that something that was infeasible?
That was one idea I had to do.
But we would have to cut out several trees.
Some of that, no, we were gonna have to cut that fence in on this side, well, we'll still have to do it on this side, where the storage is there. Because if we go on the other side, we have trees.
Right.
So I didn't want to mess with I like the trees.
Right. No, I understand that too. Okay.
So that's why I went this way and did a storage, and I said, let me do a storage unit. But I mean, I can make it where I can make it attached to the carport, but it's still gonna be.
We
Unfortunately,
would have to cut down like about 6 trees.
unfortunately, I have to look at it as it is today. And
Yes.
so, but I think that's a pretty reasonable idea. And so, or a reasonable thought to investigate. So, okay, just curious. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I love what you've done with your house. I
Thank
love
you.
the front. It's
We're not done.
it's beautiful, it's exciting, and I can tell y'all have put a whole lot of work into it. Unfortunately, I personally am troubled by 3 basic items. I think heaven forbid if there was ever a fire in that building, your house would burn down. It's so close. This is one of those kind of things, and that's why we have our ordinances to help protect those things, and that comes from years of experience. We in this board especially, we love to make in the world, but this is too tight for me to vote for. The way it's put together, we have to give an up or a down vote. And on this one, I will have to vote no. That does not mean that predisposes us to any new idea that you come in and you work with the city. But that building as it sits and where it stands, I just think it's not a feasible plan that we can in any way make fit inside our codes. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't speak for the whole board.
Can we, well, you've mentioned that you would work with, the local codes. Can we postpone this? Or we
No.
have to-
No, we have to, on this particular one, because number one, it's a begun structure. To do anything with the existing structure would have to be permitted. There's no way it can go through permitting at this point. It wouldn't pass the fire marshal, wouldn't pass the city. So unfortunately, the applicant has to start from scratch. Now, is there parts of this that possibly could be mixed and fall even within the codes? We just don't know, and that's not our purview, Justin.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. There's a motion before the board to approve this, and it has been seconded. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Thank you. I'm sorry, but it will not pass at this time. Thank you so much for being here. Item number 4, public hearing and discussion on possible action on the application for a request by the Garrett Heath for a variance accessory use structure located at 105 Cobblestone. Contrary to section 5064 area regulations, side yard minimum setbacks, all building structures 10 feet except on a corner lot where it's 20 feet of the rear property line, except that of a detached accessory building that it's at least 5 feet from the rear property line, section 5034. Requirements applicable to all districts, accessory building structures, ABSUs. There shall be a minimum spacing of 10 feet between any detached ABSU and the main building of any ABSU on the property. It is now 5:50. The public hearing is now open. Mr. Heath?
Hello, thank y'all for having me here today. So I included in the document that I sent to you guys, there once was a greenhouse back at the back corner, back left corner of the lawn. And there's already kind of like a pad and electricity set up right there for that spot. And so it's kind of the perfect place to put the storage shed that I'm looking to have. And I know, from what I understand now, I'm just requesting the variance and then I'd come back and request the permit with the plans. Is that correct? Okay, so that's what the variance request is. I had a couple of my neighbors, two of the back neighbors and one to the left also wrote some letters. I think the Pyatts.
This is the Catalanis, the Myers,
And
and
the
the
Hyatts.
Hyatts,
Yes,
right?
sir. And so they wrote some letters that they didn't have a problem with it. And then I included some pictures in the document that showed kind of where the pad is and kind of a rough sketch. Obviously, it's not the engineering plans, but just a rough sketch of how it would kind of look in the backyard.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone there's no one signed up. Is there anyone who wants to speak in this issue on the public portion? Anyone wish to speak? Thank you. It is 5:51. The public hearing is closed. Is there a motion? Cassidy makes a motion to approve as written. Is there a second? It is seconded by Mr. Lopez. Discussion. Let's start with Mr. Lopez this time.
What exactly is the height going to be on that structure?
That I don't know yet until I would get the permit to do the prefab or whatever, whether it be custom built or a prefab. I haven't looked at the plans yet. I was just really, I didn't want to spend a lot of time into that if the variance wouldn't have been allowed for just the placement.
Is that it, Cassidy? This is an interesting thing, and I see the wheels turning on the board of approving a setback without approving a structure. So let me tell you what this means is we are approving the placement of a structure that will fall thoroughly in permitting in codes. So the only way we will see this one back is if he wants to build something that is outside of the codes. That's the only thing we're approving is the setback variance. So it'll have to conform with all ABSU codes.
So for instance, his structure can't be within 10 feet.
No, yeah, that's what we're
the permitting
varying
fee,
right now.
correct? Yeah.
That's
Okay.
correct.
I just want to make the difference.
Sure.
because-
Yeah, no, we're not doing height. We're not doing width. We're just saying that the concrete pad where it sits and where the greenhouse at right now, we're going to give them a spacing variance off that back alleyway.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ask
Ask.
a question. What's going to stop the applicant, bear with me here, what's going to stop the applicant from building a two-story building right there?
The codes and the permitting process. We can amend this variance that, let me see how we can do this. Louis, help me. What we're trying to do here is to make sure we're giving you a spacing variance. And Mr. Squire said, what keeps you from building a two-story structure on the back of the property or something
I
like
think
that?
my neighbor would kill me if I
Well,
did that.
and this is, so Louis, I think JR broke his mic. What we want to do is possibly, if we go forward to grant the spacing variance as requested, but we are granting nothing else. If there's anything that falls outside of the general, ABSUs cannot be 2 stories unless they're approved for a special use. Is that correct?
They can be no higher than the principal building. If the principal building's 1 story, that's that. If the principal building's 2-story in ABS, you can't be any higher than the principal or 35 feet.
But he can't decide to build a new garage or a guest house back there.
You have 2 fail-safes, sir. The first one is that you are voting within the context of the application, which was asking for a space setback, and that's it. That's your first fail-safe. Your second fail-safe is on plan review. I would kind of review it a little bit and I'd send it on to my building inspector, who's also a real good sieve, to catch this and find out, wait a minute, this is a 2-story building. How are we allowing this to happen? So you've got 2 fail-safes for that to not occur.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah.
How many stories is the house?
It's a single story.
Did that satisfy, Justin, your thoughts? Did you have any other questions? John,
No, I have no questions.
thank you. You good? Okay, did I close the public hearing or are we still good? Okay, I'm sorry, a little getting spacey here. Thank you very much. Anything else? It's been made to approve and seconded. All in favor? Say aye. It's unanimous. Thank you. Being no further business in front. Oh, Cassidy is going to be out having her baby this time next month, hopefully soon. So make sure we have alternate, please.
Yes, we will have a meeting.
Thank you. Being no further business in front of this board, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here, y'all.